the stuff, but I don't think we can get through it all in the
Yeah, we're
time.
just going till about 12:25 today for the try it out lesson, and then I'll talk to you about how
Okay,
to schedule other lessons. So, if you want to do some
perfect.
homework problems to get a feel for the format.
Yeah.
If they're not timed though, you can, open them, work through questions, and then just resume later as well.
Okay.
Um,
Sounds good. We had did this one was the one I struggled with most. Let me share. All right, is that working?
Yep, I'm seeing your screen now. I'm going to just stop both our videos here. I usually jump off while we're doing the lesson anyway.
Okay.
Yeah, if you want to hit start there, I can snip some questions and
Okay. And then let me
we
just
can
grab
work.
a book real fast.
All right, for this one, could you increase the size of the graph there on the right with that
Yeah.
magnifying glass as much as it'll allow? That'll more times if you can. That's good enough there. All right. So let me what I do here is I'm going to grab a snip and I'll let you know when I've done that. And
Okay.
what it's usually best is if I grab a few. Um, if you want to go to question 2 now, I can grab a couple more of these. And if you could, yeah, thank you for doing a little more if you'll be able. All right, let me grab, yeah, that's good enough. I'll grab that. Okay, you can go on to question 3 now. This is fine. Yeah, zooming in is also helpful. Thank
Yeah.
you. I have good eyesight, but it's through a screen, through a Zoom
Right.
window. It's always
Makes
a
it
little. All
easier.
right, yeah, I'll put them more here if you want to go to number 4.
Okay.
And you're always welcome to send this ahead of time. Like if we do a lesson, you want to send all this over in preparation, you can text, email, whatever is best for you to get those problems over to me.
Okay.
Yeah, let's do a couple more. Let's do one more, and then we'll see how much we can get done.
Okay.
This one will go pretty quick. And this has got a part B, so this is one of those where you'd have to enter the answer and then we'll look again. All right, so let me do this. Let me go back to sharing my screen. Um, again, I encourage you to take notes, work out problems, but I will be sending everything you see on my screen at the end of the lesson there.
Okay.
So let's go ahead and get started. So first question here. I know it's a little hard to read, but it says, estimate the slope of the tangent line to the curve. So you're literally just picking that point right there, and then you want to find another good point. So a good point is like hits on the grid. So I feel like that one right there hits on the grid pretty solidly.
Okay.
And the easiest way to do slope is to go back to the most basic definition, which is rise over run. You're just counting. You're like, all right, 1, 2, 3. You're going up 3, and then you're running out 4 to get there. You
Okay.
can also use the slope formula, which you don't need when you have the graph, like there's no reason to, but that would require you to have both of these ordered pairs and then doing the whole y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1, and you'll see you get the same
Okay.
result there. And you probably already know this about Pearson, but I'll just say it anyway, is that when it tells you like, hey, it could be a fraction, like you shouldn't be surprised when you get a
Right.
fractional answer.
And so when it's one like this, it has to be on the pink line, right?
Yes,
Okay.
yes, exactly. So sorry, I didn't even mention. So the tangent, like we think of tangents to a circle, the tangent touches one time.
Okay.
That's what that means. The tangent just kind of, you know, hits and bounces off. When you kind of bump into someone, you're kind of tangent to them for that
Okay.
moment in time. All right. Now, is if I encourage you to try the answers as we go in case there's
Okay.
mistakes. Sometimes I do mess up. Sometimes, not. And if there's a part B, that sometimes would be helpful
Right.
to do. All right.
All right. Yeah,
All
that
right. So
was it.
this one probably. Let me take a look here at this next one. Sometimes they look. Oops, that's no good. Sometimes they look really, really challenging. The red line here, it says estimate the slope of the tangent line to the curve at this point, which we presume is that point right there. This line looks really horizontal to me. I mean, I don't know if we can get any more
Yeah,
horizontal than that. The slope of a horizontal line is 0.
okay,
It's 0. Now, I don't know why it asks you to round this, but I kind of feel like it's 0. It does say to round to the nearest 10th. A little bothersome, but I don't know, maybe try 0 and let me know if there's an issue with that.
okay. Oops.
So horizontal lines
Yep, that was right.
always
That one
have
definitely
slope of
seems a
0.
lot harder than
Right.
it actually is.
Okay. Now the next question here. So are you, I need a little information before we do this. Have you taken calculus before?
No, I did a semester of pre-calc in high school, but it wasn't anything to do with derivatives or limits,
Okay.
or it was just
Right.
kind of
And
like the
then
whole
are
cotangent.
you taking, and you're taking the tests in person, but are they online like this?
Yeah, they're online, like the teacher sends them to your proctor, but I think the proctor has to be like in person.
So but you're probably doing them through Pearson, is my guess.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah,
so the reason I'm asking all these questions is because like this problem can be done by hand with this definition of the derivative, which is awful, but can be done, or we can jump right to the derivative rules if you don't need to show work. Like that's what I'm trying to figure out is like, will you on your test need to show work? You know, or can you just get the right answer and be good enough?
yeah. They don't require you to send the work after the test, but you just can't have notes or anything.
Okay, all right. Is there a part, sorry, I know I'm asking a lot of questions. I
No,
didn't
it's
get the
fine.
full snipper. Is it just part A or is there more to this?
Let me take a look. That's all there is.
Okay,
Yeah.
so that's what I'm trying to ask here. So like the way to do this by hand is you first write out f of x, which is this part here, top right. And then you need what's called f of x plus h, which means to put x plus h in for x. So it means minus x plus h squared plus 4 times x plus h minus 3. And then this is, this is why you had those prerequisite classes. You're supposed to be able to expand this and be able to simplify. So x plus h squared means x plus h times x plus h, and you're foiling. So this is the by hand. This is like, and I'll work this one out for you, but you have to decide if you really want to learn this way because you'll never do it again in this course except for the first part of the course.
Okay.
So the FOIL here is x squared plus xh plus hx, which is really xh again, plus h squared. And then you distribute that negative into everything here. Now, back up here. There's actually two xh's, so you combine those. And then now you distribute the negative in. So negative x squared minus 2xh minus h squared. And then I've not done anything with these terms, so I'm going to bring those down. 4x plus 4h minus 3. So
Okay.
this last line here represents the f of x plus h part here.
Okay.
So we need these like pieces, and then we're going to put them all together. So the first piece is the given. The second one you have to calculate down here, and then we're going to combine them. Is that okay so far?
Yeah.
More or less? Okay. So we're going to grab this right here. So the derivative here, the limit as h goes to 0, which we can kind of talk about what that means,
Okay.
minus f of x. So this is minus the original. This is the original here, the minus x squared plus 4x minus 3.
Okay.
And then this is all over h. So I know it looks really bad. It's going to get better in a moment, but it looks really bad. And that's what I mean by this is a lot of stuff to do, by hand, especially if you're never going to, use this, never going to use this stuff again.
Yeah.
You're not, I think you mentioned your business or MIS major, something like
Yeah.
that. No one's going to ever ask you to take a derivative.
Okay.
You are going to distribute this negative though into both. So it becomes plus x squared minus 4x plus 3. Make sure you distribute it into all three. 1, 2, 3. And then it's still all over h. It still looks really bad, but you're going to see some cancellations. Like this minus x squared in the front cancels with that x squared there. Minus 4x cancels with positive 4x. 3 cancels with minus 3. And you're just left with a couple of terms. And notice they all have h in them. That's really important. They all have h. Minus 2xh minus h squared plus 4h divided by h like that. All right. Any questions on that or any
No, it
thoughts?
makes sense. Just only the
Okay.
limit thing.
Yeah, this is the calculus part. Don't worry about that. Just keep
Okay.
ignoring it till the end.
Okay.
So you divide each of these by h. And you can skip steps here, but I'm just showing everything for the first one. When you divide by h, it cancels, and this is what you're left with. So now we can talk about what this limit actually means. It means to put 0 in for h. And you might be saying, well, why didn't we do that from the beginning? Like, why didn't we just start from there? Well, the issue is that h is on the bottom, and you're not allowed to divide by h, divide by 0. So divide by 0, divide by 0, divide by 0, dividing by 0, no longer dividing by 0. That's why we couldn't put 0 in for h, but now we can. Now it's okay. But you're putting in for h, not x. So it's minus 2x minus 0 plus 4 becomes minus 2x plus 4. And this is your final answer.
Okay.
So please give that a try there.
It said it was incorrect. It said use the given function to find the quotient and then the one on the,
Yeah, so I think what it wants is you to put in maybe this line back here all over h.
the whole thing.
Yeah.
Okay. Without simple. Okay.
Um, you could do it now, later. That's what I was wondering if there are other parts to it because it looks a little weird. The next one's more standard.
I'll try it real quick. Yeah, that one didn't work either, and it gave me the same explanation.
Okay. But sometimes what I have to do with Pearson stuff is I have to go into the like one where it says, give me an example to know what they want. So I don't even know what they want at this point. It
Right.
might also be that they want this line down here, the minus 2x minus h plus 4. That's
Okay.
one of the problems with these online systems is like we don't really know what they want sometimes. So
Right.
uh it's just
That makes it hard for the test though, because it's like you don't know what they're actually.
yeah, we'll get it dialed in though. Sometimes the tests are multiple choice as well, which makes it, even easier.
Okay, so yeah,
So this
that was
might,
right. The one over H.
all right,
Yeah.
this one here, good. Okay, is there a next part or is that it?
Yeah, it's find f apostrophe of x using the definition of the derivative.
Okay, yes, so quick language thing there. This means f prime of x,
Okay.
not apostrophe. And that's what that is the derivative. I know it looks like an apostrophe, right? But
Yeah.
it's called a prime in calculus.
Okay.
Um, And that is this thing that we put in the box here. That's when you actually put 0 in for 8.
Okay. Okay. Mhm. And then the other ones, I think just reading on the question, it's gonna be 1 and 2. And
You mean
or
it's saying it wants
2 and
f
3.
prime of 1?
Yeah, f prime of 1 and then f prime of 2 and f prime of 3.
Okay, so what this means is take your derivative function, this derivative, this is your derivative here, and you're gonna put 1 in for x. So it's -2 times 1 plus 4, which is 2. Then you're gonna put 2 in for x. Then you're going to put 3 in for x, and so on.
Okay.
It's really not that bad once you get
No.
the derivative.
All right. So, f of 1 was 2. Okay. Oops.
Prime of 1, the derivative at 1 is 2, derivative at 2 is 0, derivative at 3 is -2.
Okay, sweet. I put the wrong one in, but okay, sweet. All right. Those are all right.
Excellent. Okay, so we can move on to the next question. Does that sound
Yeah.
good? Okay, so this question here is exactly like the last one, except it's more work. It's more work to do with this f of x plus h minus f of x over h. And so for this one, I'm just going to give you the derivative. Like we can in another lesson, we can maybe do more of these by hand. It just takes too long. And
Okay.
you're going to learn these rules anyway. Like you're going to learn your derivative rules in about, a week or two. So you will never use the definition of the derivative ever again. So this is the answer to part A.
Okay.
All right. And what what I want you to do is get back to me and say, all right, yeah, I think I do need to, or no, I don't. I'll just, I'll learn the derivative rules,
Right.
decide. Now for f prime of -3, it means to put -3 in and for x. So it's 18 times -3 squared. Now, what kind of calculator are you allowed to use in this class?
I'm allowed to use anything but the TI-84. The or the
But
8.
you can use a TI 8384.
Yeah, any of them are
Okay.
allowed, but oh wait, my screen isn't on. But this one, the one that you can like download plugins and stuff. TI-84 plus.
Okay, so what I would recommend is having that available to you during the lessons to use. I know you got your phone. I got, there's a million things in that line, but you want to use what you're going to have available to you on the test, just to
Okay.
get comfortable. So when you get to the test, you're not like, I've never used this thing before, or doesn't have power, batteries go bad. Like
Right.
we want to avoid all these awful things that happen. So doesn't matter to me, but do you have something you can use to calculate this today, or you just
Yes, I do. I've got two in front
okay?
of me.
All right, give that a try, please. Let me know what you come up with.
All right, I got 162.
Good. And then f prime of 0, same thing here, 18 times 0 squared. 0 squared is 0, anything times 0 is 0.
Yeah.
And then you can similarly do that for f prime of 1. And you'll end up getting that result there.
Okay. Those are all right.
All right, so all right, next question here. For the given function, find the equation of the secant line through the points where x has the given values b, and b the equation of, I don't know, probably the tangent line. We'll see what that says. So part A is just saying which of the following formulas can be used to find the slope of the secant line. So the slope is the average rate of change, AROC. You might have heard that before. The
Mhm.
way that works is this first x value is A, the second x value is B, f of B minus f of A over B minus A. This is the general formula. You just have to match it up to what you have. Your A is 3, your B is 5. So it's f of 5 minus f of 3 over 5 minus 3. So you can see that that is the correct answer there.
Okay. That's not too hard.
Can you verbally tell me what part B is?
It's the equation of the secant line is blank.
Okay, so we actually have to find these values. So we go back to our original function there, and we actually need to figure out, well, what is f of 5? What is f of 3? And so on. So let's do that now.
Okay.
So again, we need f of 5, which means to put 5 in for x. 5 squared plus 5 is 30. And then f of 3 is 3 squared plus 3, which is 12. So now we're taking these values and we're putting them back into this formula. So f of 5 is 30
Okay.
minus f of 3 is 12 over 5 minus 3, like that. So you end up getting 18 over 2, which is 9. That is your slope.
Okay.
So if you go back, way back to, when you first learned equations of a line, y equals mx plus b, you need the slope.
Okay.
And then you need to use an ordered pair, an x and a y, to find the equation. So you actually have two of them. The first one is 5 comma 30. So, when you put 5 in for x, you get a y value of 30. The other one is 3 comma 12. That's putting 3 in for x, you get 12 for y. You can use either one. Doesn't matter. Pick the one you like. I'm going to use the second one. 12 equals 9 times 3 plus b. So I'm just putting those in for x and y. And then you solve for b. So 12 equals 27 plus b. Subtract 27 from both sides. B ends up equaling minus 15. That goes back into this line right here. And y equals 9x minus 15. Now, what I can't see is whether it wants all of this or just the right side. You'll have to make that
Yeah,
determination there.
it doesn't say, but
Is it just a blank box, or is it a y
yeah,
equals? And then
yeah, it
I put
doesn't say anything after,
you can
so
put the whole thing in, or you can
okay.
share your screen if you're not sure.
Yeah, I put the whole thing in and it was right. So, and then
Excellent.
the next one popped up is the equation of the tangent line at x equals 3 is blank.
Okay, so we'll finish off with that. Um, so at 3, we know that the point is 3 comma 12. We already did that. The derivative, which you're supposed to use the definition of the derivative, but I'm going to give you the derivative as a shortcut here. You'll learn the rules pretty soon. You have to find the derivative at 3. 2 times 3 plus 1 is 7. That is your slope. So it's
Okay.
essentially the same setup. It's y equals mx plus b. That's the slope, so 7x plus b. And then this is your x, this is your y. So 12 equals 7 times 3 plus b. Solve for b. B is minus 9. That goes back in here. Sorry, I know I'm rushing a little bit on this
Well, that's
last one
okay.
here, but that is the answer there. Okay, so that will take us to the end of the try it out lesson.